And I've hesitated to put that one up because I definitely consider it one of my lesser works. I mean, it's pretty flat, really, I think, but I've thought the same about some of the other stories I put up, and people are still thrilled by them, so who knows?
Maybe what you could do is preview it with some of the members or post it on Fanfiction Now or something.
Yeah, that crossed my mind, too. And, let's see. Anything else? I don't really have much of anything for the other sites, except that after watching Robin Hood, I did get a really weird idea. I'm not sure this would fit on Robin Hood Source because it features none of the characters from the movie itself. It's more a takeoff on the original Robin Hood legends than anything else. I don't know if there's really much point in describing the particular idea in question.
Okay, if you don't want to, I'm not going to press you.
I mean, if you want to know.
Your interview, you go ahead, say whatever you want.
Alright, the idea that came to my mind as I was watching it, I noticed that Robin Hood's style, his personality, very flippant, and dishing out insults here and there, or this one I thought was a lot more humorous. How he's just talking so nonchalantly to... well, not nonchalantly, but he's having this chat with Maid Marian while he's fighting a life-or-death duel with about a dozen guys. And the way he's talking, you'd think they were sitting down having a cup of tea or something. And it struck me that was so much like Spider-Man. And then I started thinking, how would it be different if Spider-Man's origin story had played out in the Middle Ages and he had ended up as an outlaw like Robin Hood? Because they actually had some comics like that. They called them Spider-Man fairy tales, and each one depicted him in a different setting. And one of them, he didn't even have any powers. He just had the whole spider motif going.
Interesting.
And that one was the Middle Ages one, and to be honest, I was disappointed with it. I thought they could have done so much better than what they did. And I won't spoil for anyone who decides to read it. But I just think that a Robin Hood twist would be so fresh, so inventive. So I might write it sometime, I don't know.
Sounds like you've got quite a few maybes on your list.
Yeah, I've got my share, I'd say.
Yeah. Don't we all, though? Well, then again, most of my, what eventually became stories were a bunch of maybes at one point. I mean, when I first joined the site, I had a set of 20 stories that I thought maybe I would be able to finish within a couple years. And then maybe I would branch off from them if I felt like it. But then I found out the more I wrote, the more I couldn't stop, so those just came pouring out, and then I just had to keep writing, otherwise I would have gone nuts.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I've had very much the same thing happen with writing. When I joined Balto Source, I never figured on becoming a writer, I figured on becoming a writer. I've figured on that since grade school. I never figured on writing on Balto Source. I was just there to read other people's material and comment. And then I was working on a book series at the time about a dragon, which I'm still working on now. I was actually talking to a self-publishing company about it, but realized that their prices are that the expense of printing it would be a little too much for someone with no monthly paycheck or no weekly paycheck. So that's on hold for now. But I was looking at Balto Source, and it all of a sudden crossed my mind, what would happen if I put the personalities of some of my dragon characters into canine bodies and set them in the Balto time period. And so there was that, and I was reading the stories of a writer called Red Wolf 03, who, by the way, excellent writer. I honestly think she's the best one on the site. Definitely up there. It's kind of hard to pick who's best between her and Kelev, for instance. But I wouldn't recommend most of Red Wolf 03's stories for kids. She doesn't either. But for the higher up age groups, her stories are really cool. And it struck me that it would work so nicely to tie my storyline into hers. I got her permission, and it just went from there. I never expected that Toby would get as far as it has.
It has come pretty far.
Yeah, it has. I've seen the reactions. I mean, you've probably seen, there are some people, I go into the shout box, and their immediate reaction to my presence is, when's the next Toby coming out?
Well, that was me last week, and now I know. Two have come out.
Well, there have been a few others who are like that. I'm not sure, actually. There was someone, the name escapes me. She used to glomp me every time I came into the shout box and go, Toby!
There was that, the Toby deleted scenes that you were talking about somewhere on the site. Can't remember where offhand. You planning on posting those on Baltosaurus anytime?
Well, I don't have them on a specific timetable, but yes, I definitely intend to post them. And in fact, I've been saving up deleted scenes not just from Toby, but from a few other stories as well. Like, there's the Road Rovers fanfics. I have at least one deleted scene from that. And from that series to incorporate. And the piece that I figure I'm putting in.
Okay, I found it. I've already asked you this question, but it was almost a year ago. Where's that Toby Plugged In series I read about?
Yeah, well, again, hopefully it's coming to Sourcecast. I don't know yet. We'll see how it plays out.
Well, now that I've thought of a whole bunch of other questions, I just gotta get them out of my system. Hope you don't mind.
Take your time.
Okay, first of all, or is it like 16th of all? When you think of Toby, does he fit your picture of him on his official character profile, or is he slightly different? Or
he's a little bit different in my mind from how he appears on the profile. I'm not that good with renders, as I admit. And there are definitely artists who have done a better job of producing a realistic picture of him than I have. Draco has a really good picture of him.
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now. It looks terrific.
Yeah, I can't sketch to save my life. And even if I could, I don't have a scanner, so I can't get the pictures online.
You and me both. It's all I can do to draw a real circle. So, my attempt at drawing one of my characters, let's just say I was wondering if I had just reinvented a fire hose.
What?
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I had just reinvented a fire hose.
And you were trying to draw what again?
One of my characters, one of Alu's siblings. Yeah, that's how bad I am. So I've had to resort to renders. And paint takes forever. I mean, I sent an image in just a few days ago, and I timed myself. It took me 32 work hours to get that done. So,
yikes.
And I just don't want to learn Paint.net or GIMP because I just know Paint. That's what I work with best. So, but yeah, I know how hard renders are. So, anyway, next question. When you imagine how Toby would sound like, well, I guess that's my question. How do you imagine Toby sounds like?
You mean voice-wise?
Yeah.
Would it elicit a groan if I said Toby Maguire?
I
think that's kind of a bad joke.
What's even scarier is that voice actually fits. Anyway, I guess what I was trying to get at was, do you ever imagine your own voice coming out of Toby's mouth?
No, not really. I mean, well, I'll try to imitate his voice when I'm reading the stories to my sounding board, a.k.a. my mom or my brother, whoever's available. I like to test my stories on them and get their feedback before I publish them. It's also a good way to go through for typos. And I try to produce Toby's voice, but when I hear recordings of my voice, I know that there's no way I'm ever going to sound right. I mean, they say that a recording of your own voice will sound different to you than it will to other people. But to me, my voice recorded sounds like a boring college professor or something.
Well, you're much more entertaining than a college professor. Take my word for it.
Well, I said my voice. Besides, we've had some... I've known some pretty entertaining professors, actually.
Yeah, I have one or two of those myself. Do you picture Toby to have a voice more similar to Balto or Cody or Charlie Barkin, or basically, what's the closest voice you can think of that Toby would fit? But of course, there's no voice out there that would completely fit him. But what would you say is the closest?
Well, out of the ones you listed, I'd say Cody is probably the most similar to how I envision him sounding. But, like I said, I think if I were to choose a voice actor for him, I'd pick Toby Maguire, who did voice Lou from All Dogs... I mean, no, not All Dogs Go to Heaven, Cats and Dogs.
Oh, really? Oh, how could I miss that? Anyway.
I don't know.
So, sounds good. Yeah, you've stated in several places on Animation Source that your Toby series and characters are somewhat derived from your stories about dragons that I assume you were talking about earlier. Same story?
Yeah, that's right.
And dang it. What has changed as you've been writing your stories? I mean, what is Toby? Maybe I should just start over. Hi, my mic is working. Is yours? Okay.
Yeah. I guess you're asking how has it become different from the dragon characters?
That, yeah.
Well, a couple of ways. For one thing, dogs, with dogs and with a setting in our world, it's possible to explore things that one couldn't really do in a fantasy world with dragons, because it's kind of odd if you think about it. You would think that anything a dog can do, a dragon could do, probably